get education or to be educated? That's a question that can surround us in different ways and in different cultures. Education should be more than just basic knowledge transfer. It needs to be an enjoyable and enriching experience. Student-centered learning is a teaching method that focused on creating connections with students' interests. The ultimate goal to make the education process more meaningful to students.
Ano.
A jaký je tvůj nejoblíbenější předmět?
Tělocvik, protože ráda se hýbu a mám ráda sport.
Jaký je tvůj nejoblíbenější učitel?
Moje třídní učitelka, protože je zatím nejhodnější, co jsme měli, jakože za celý moje roky, co chodím do školy.
A student-centered classroom looks and feels different than a traditional teacher-centered classroom.
Jsou dobrý domácí úkoly, ale dostáváme každý den a už se mi to
The
nechce
educational
dělat.
system faces numerous challenges today, affecting learners at every level.
Jaký je tvůj nejoblíbenější předmět?
Informatika.
A proč?
No, jako ráda, nebo já vlastně doma nemám jako ani počítač nebo jako něco takového, no tak jako pro mě to něco takového nového.
A co ráda děláš o přestávkách?
Na přestávkách je pravda, že si někdy trénuju sestavu, ale když něco nestihnu, tak si vždycky jako dodělám to, co jsem nestihla a povídám se s kámoškama.
Co si myslíte o vzdělávacím systému v České republice a na Slovensku? Myslíte, že by tam měly být nějaké změny?
Ja si myslím, že Česká republika je trošku taký predchodca Slovenskej republiky vo vzdelávaní, keďže urobili nejaké zmeny, ktoré by boli podľa mňa dobré aj pre Slovenskú republiku. Určite tam je ešte stále priestor na zmeny aj v Česku, ale vnímam to, že už sa udiali určité zmeny, ktoré idú k lepšiemu z môjho pohľadu, keďže keď porovnám svoje vzdelávanie ako v Slovenskej republike na základnej, na strednej, na vysokej škole a aktuálne vzdelávanie svojej dcery na základnej škole, tak to beriem, že to ide lepším smerom. Že vlastne dcera dostáva z môjho pohľadu lepšie vzdelávanie, ako sme dostávali. Ja som viac s tým stotočný.
Když se řekne vzdělávací systém?
Určite priestor na zmenu, alebo priestor na zlepšenie. A z môjho pohľadu, keď sa pozriem na svoje vzdelávanie, tak ako také úmorné, zložité obdobie v mojom živote, a keď sa pozriem na vzdelávanie svojej dcery, tak ona je v škole veľmi šťastná a spokojná a naozaj tam rada trávi čas a veľa sa dozvedá. Určite má lepší pocit zo vzdelávania ona svojho ako ja a obidve sme vlastne v štátnom školskom systéme sa vzdelávali. Ale je tam veľký rozdiel.
Takže myslíte, že je velký rozdíl ve vzdělávání, když jste byla mladá a...
No, absolútne. Je to aj kvôli tomu, že dcera chodí do tzv. Malotriedky, čo je škola, kde sú 2 ročníky v jednej triede a je tam veľmi individuálny prístup, je tam málo detí. A ja som chodila do školy vo veľkom meste, kde nás bolo 32 v triede, čo bola vlastne aj zákonná hranica, takže nás bolo naozaj veľa a bolo to neosobné. Čiže aj kvôli tomu, že navštevuje úplne iný typ školy, aj si myslím, že sa veľa vecí zmenilo v tých štátnych školách, tak myslím si, že je tam veľký rozdiel a opäť z môjho pohľadu k lepšiemu.
Do you think that there should be some changes in education system?
Definitely, yes.
I mean, what kind of
For
change?
example,
Yeah.
including, I don't know how to say it in English, inclusive.
ve škole?
Práve, že zatiaľ, keď myslíte dceru, ako
A
vzdelávanie,
myslím vás?
je moje, asi to, že to bolo veľmi anonymné, neosobné. Nemyslím si, že by sa vtedy rozmýšľalo niečo ako potenciál, alebo emócia, alebo individualita. Ja si myslím, že všetko to, čo dnes považujeme za dôležité, bolo v tej dobe ako na príťaž. Keď sa rozprávalo o nejakej individualite študenta, tak to bolo ako vzlom, v takej tej negatívnej konotácii a dnes sa to práve vyzdvihuje. Že keď je dieťa niečom iné ako tie ostatné a má nejaký talent, že ja si myslím, že to, čo dnes vnímame ako výhodu toho študenta, tak počas môjho štúdia bolo všetko ako nevýhoda. Ale tak si myslím, že to je veľmi veľký rozdiel. Aj ten obrovský stres, aký sme my zažívali, a to ako na veľa školách teraz vnímam, že tie deti sú mnoho viac v pohode, alebo teda nemajú až taký tlak na to vzdelávanie, alebo na tie výsledky, alebo na to byť ten stred. Asi to mi teraz tak napadá, že je ešte výstižnejšie, že u nás bol obrovský tlak, aby sme zapadali, aby sme boli v tom strede, a keď je dcera teraz, že každý má nejaký iný talent, tak sa zaklada na tom, aby ten, kto má nejaký talent, ho rozvíjal. Že netlačia sa tie deti viac tak akože do stredu, že všetci budeme rovnakí, univerzálni, ale že viac sa kladie dôraz na to, že keď v tomto si dobrý a toto ti nejde, tak zlepšuj si tie vlastnosti, v ktorých si dobrý, a to, čo ti nejde, tak aspoň nejaký základ, aby to dieťa malo, že za mňa veľký rozdiel.
What were the difficulties you have experienced when you were a student?
I hadn't.
Really? Homework will give
Are good
pressure
for her.
on
No,
her.
I think it's good for
It's
her.
good. Okay. That there is a difference between education system when you were a student and the present education system. Can you clarify the differences between the past and the present?
Ty rozdíly jsou velké, podle mě. A asi nejdu jako z toho hlediska učitele. Vnímám, že je na učitele kladeno obrovské nároky na to informování rodičů o vzdělávání dětí, což vůbec nebylo. A mohli bychom se bavit o spoustě dalších věcech, ale tohle je pro mě úplně jako zásadní, že ten učitel je vlastně neustále pod tlakem toho dávání na věděnou, co by děti měly dělat, co dělali všechno.
Možná díky této době, jaká teďka momentálně je, tak vlastně to učení, ty osnovy výučky potřebovali nějak upravit, a aby ty děti zase posunovali a vzdělávali trošku jiným směrem, už taky moderním, než co teďka jim někdy cpou do hlavy. Jo. To si myslím, že jsou blbosti.
Co vás jako první napadne, když se řekne vzdělávací systém školství?
Co mi první napadne? Žákovská knížka.
A co si myslíte o domácích úkolech?
Jsem proti. Děti se mají učit ve škole a ne tahat prostě, oni byli už dost unavené. Mají ještě kroužky pro mimoškolní aktivity a jako to je věc těch rodičů, jo, ale já si myslím, že těch domácích úkolů by mělo být minimum asi. Jo, ne, ještě oni přijdou ze školy, ještě další hodinu se s nimi učit potom, jo, znovu číst, opakovat tu látku, aby byly připravené. Jak mají vlastně vždycky ten týdenní rozvrh, tak co bude další den, tak na to, aby byly ty děti připravené, tak je to na ně dost. Ještě když jsou také menší, takže si myslím, že to asi. Baví tě škola baru ještě?
A myslíte, že by bylo potřeba nějaké změny udělat?
Tak v tom vzdělávání možná spíš zapojit víc jakoby profesí těch manuálních, protože toho ubývá a jde to prostě špatným směrem.
Já si myslím, že také ty pohybové hry, co tam máte, že jo?
Ne, mě baví.
To by vás baví matika? Wow, takže...
A jaká je nejhezčí vzpomínka dcer ze školy? Nejlepší zážitek?
No, to jo.
To zkus.
Já nevím, asi nás to jdou první třídy.
Je to výlet.
Jo, výlet, a dobrý.
Myslíte si, že děti jsou ve škole spokojený? Všeobecně?
Já nevím, teď to slyším, že je to samá šikana, že jsou na sebe ty děcka zlí, že ty vztahy jsou mezi těma takový špatný. Nevím, jako jestli jsou spokojení s tou výukou jako takovou, ale vztahy mezi dětskama jsou špatný.
A jaký si myslíte, že jsou největší překážky nebo těžkosti, co musí překonat?
na to soustředění. Možná asi nevím, jestli toho mají třeba víc v té škole teďka, ale těžko říct, nevím. Já spíš teď slyším jenom, že jsou ty vztahy špatný mezi těma dětma jako takový. Takže...
Time's up. Yeah. Time's up, please.
Co si myslíte o školském vzdělávacím systému v České republice?
Je špatný. Starý systém a málo nových mladých učitelů. Třeba mě učí, nebo mojí dceru učí učitelka, která učila ještě mě. A třeba za doby covidu, když jsme měli distančku, tak jsem si naučila prostě matematiku jednoduše, aby to pochopil, že jo. A učitelka mi volala, ať ho to učím prostě tak, jak ona striktně chce a nezavádím nic nového, že prostě jo, chce to svojí metodou a neuznává nic jiného. Přitom je spoustu fíglů třeba u té matiky, jak si naučit, že jo, různě počítat jednoduše. Takže chtělo by to opravdu nějakou reformu.
In today's world, it's crucial not just to memorize facts, but to apply and analyze them while developing problem-solving skills and strong communication abilities. Elementary and mid-school faces early learning challenges, such as diverse learning needs, screen time and technology, social skills and emotional development, and lack of resources. Equity in access is also an issue. Disparities in funding between schools often mean students in under-resourced areas lack access to advanced courses, extracurriculars, and college counseling, widening the achievement gap and limiting opportunities for many students. High school is the preparation for adulthood. Academic pressure and mental health, career, and college readiness are some of the struggles that teenagers go through. Of course, we can't forget about social media influence, such as cyberbullying, self-esteem problems, and social comparisons. College and university. The rising costs of studying, such as housing and other college expenses, has made higher education financially burdensome. Many students graduate with substantial debt, affecting their career choices and financial independence.
I applied to American universities, but I wasn't admitted, and that's why I started to search European options. And I found the university in the Czech Republic that I liked because of the interconnection of financial aid program itself, career opportunities, and I decided why not. And I really like international community. I find myself really fitting into it because it's easy for me to communicate with international people, to consider myself the person of the world, the individual who does not set any boundaries in communication, in finding new perspectives, new vision of life, and it's really interesting. That's why I consider education abroad be very useful for your self-development, because you can acquire so many skills and knowledges that you've never even thought about, and it's just amazing.
But I think that the going into that cultural element, I think it opened my eyes to different ways of thinking, different ways of seeing the world. I always knew colonialism was one of the worst things to ever happen in history. I always knew it existed and I knew the impacts of it, but this was the first time I really engaged with a community who didn't just suffer from colonialism in the past. Guam's history is full of it, but arguably they are still very much under the colonial yoke of the United States. I found the exchange of ideas, the opportunity to learn, invaluable. It was so important to me, and that's why for my master's I chose a program that allowed me to study at 2 universities in Spain and Canada.
What is your opinion about inclusion at school?
I don't have one. As in, it's a very complex question to which answering would involve talking about education system in general. Inclusion, equity, equality should be not even a subject of a discussion, or rather quality of education per se to a human being. Diversity is part of who we are, so by default it's part of education. So again, for me, it shouldn't even be a matter of discussion, it should be granted by default of what education stands for.
Did you ever have problems because of how inclusion looked like in the system in which you were growing up and being educated?
I mean, I wasn't diagnosed when I was a child yet, so for me it was very hard to be in school in general. The environment was hard. I was very good in stuff that I really liked, like arts or English or this kind of subjects, but in general for me it was very hard to focus and to understand the way that they were teaching. And there was one subject in particular, it was like history classes. For me it was super hard to understand because for me the teacher was so boring that I couldn't like keep things inside my mind. So I was always forgetting, and then I ended up that in the end of the year, that was the only thing that I didn't have good grades, so I had to do those classes during school break. So the only way that I learned about history was because my mom used some records, like, you know, like vinyl records, and she put in some music and she started to do like a theater thing to explain about stuff, and then it was amazing. I just learned like everything that I didn't learn in the, I don't know, like 2 or 3 years, because the method of school for me was boring and I couldn't just keep paying attention.
The challenges of the educational system of your country?
I have been a teacher at primary, secondary and high school for about 13 years, and the main problem I faced so far is curriculum. The curriculum hasn't changed dramatically over the past 10 years, and really the students find it difficult to handle with the subjects they must handle with. And also school hours is too long for them to internalize the information they get. At the end of the day, they get exhausted and don't want to do anything, and neither homework. So I think curriculum and school hours should be changed according to students' needs.
Possible changes in the system that we were describing with a pinch of salt so far for me are unavoidable and impossible to achieve without a full restart. So for me personally, I'm a very cynical person when it comes to a systematic change of education. It's more of an effort of those who actually want to do that and know how to do that, because otherwise it's experimenting on a scale that is impossible to predict from where we are at the moment. There are countries that experiment on a systematic level. Norway is a very lovely European example. They changed the system to competency-based system without transition period for the teachers. So suddenly from concrete curricula and books telling them what to teach in the school, they have a set of competencies that they need to develop in their students. And again, they are trying to do that without any preparation. And for me, experimenting with education is super dangerous, because this is the moment when you shape the minds. If you don't know how to do that, lack of knowledge on how to work with a mind of a young person that is growing up might bring unexpected results that won't help anyone, definitely not the society.
I think my main obstacle in education is that I struggle about learning in a group. I have problems about learning with other people because I get easily distracted. So sometimes I'm trying to pay attention on what the teacher is saying, for example, and I can't because there is something else that is happening around me. Even like a pen or something like, or clock or whatever, so it's really hard to keep like focused. So a way that I found for myself to pay attention is actually doing something else. So I don't need to be staring at the person because this demands so much of my attention that I can't listen. So if I'm drawing, for example, I can pay attention. But if I could choose to learn from someone that is like a private class, for me it's so much more productive than being with other people. Formal education, not for me.
Does she like homework or
No,
not?
she hates them.
She probably doesn't like homework. Yeah, students generally don't like homework. And in your country, do the parents want more homework or just less homework?
Yeah, there are two sides. One agree that it's really necessary to have everyday homework to practice what they learn, and one thing that it's really like so much time consuming and that homework should be erased. And I agree with this group.
Yeah, because as you said earlier, homework gives pressure to the students. So instead of giving a lot of homework to the students, we should organize some activities at school or also at home, fostering the creativity of the learners.
Colleges often focus more on theoretical knowledge than practical skills, creating a disconnect between what students learn and what employers expect. Students in fields such as humanities and social science might feel unprepared for the jobs with the technology-driven workforce. Students experience high rates of anxiety and depression due to academic, financial, and social pressure. However, many institutions lack adequate mental health resources, leaving students to navigate those challenges with limited support. Increased funding and policy reforms could definitely improve resource access and reduce disparities. Emphasizing mental health resources at all levels, adapting curricula to incorporate life and career skills, and fostering partnerships between schools and communities are essential steps toward creating a more supportive and effective educational system. While the challenges are significant, they also present opportunities to rethink and innovate education to better prepare students for a rapidly changing world. In conclusion, cultural educational struggles affect learners of all ages, shaping their experiences in the classroom and their outlook on life. From young children developing their identities to teenagers balancing family expectations and peer influences to adults that are navigating the complexities of cultural representation in higher education. These struggles underscore the importance of an inclusive, adaptable educational system. Acknowledging cultural diversity, providing culturally relevant resources, and fostering environments where every student feels respected and seen are essential steps in overcoming these challenges.